My name is Lane Kidd. I am managing director of a coalition called the Trucking Alliance here in the United States, and I'm speaking to you today from Washington, D.C. First, I would like to apologize for not being able to personally be with you at this meeting. I understand it's called the Four Roads Free of Drugs, which is an appropriate title for this important meeting. I congratulate the participants and I congratulate those who have hosted this meeting for its importance, not only to the trucking industry but to the public at large in Brazil. And I hope to be with you in the coming month and to share with Brazilian authorities and with the business community some of the data that we have accumulated here in the United States and our experiences with trucking companies that have utilized hair testing for the last several years. So with that, briefly, over the next 5 or 6 minutes, share with you some oversight, if you will, of the experience that we've had here in promoting the use of hair testing in the trucking industry. The Trucking Alliance was created in 2011 primarily to seek passage of 3 pieces of legislation through the United States Congress, one of which was to persuade Congress to recognize hair testing as a suitable alternative to urine testing. In the United States, since the late 1980s, the federal government has required people who want to become a truck driver to pass a urine exam. However, what we've found and what we have discovered, and I'm sure what many of you in the audience already know, is that there have been many products developed and are available to people over the counter that enable them to disguise the results of a urine exam. This has unfortunately been experienced in tragic ways in the United States. One example that I'll use today to illustrate this problem is one that it was experienced by J.B. Hunt Transport Services, a company that you may recognize. It's the 3rd largest freight carrier in the United States behind UPS and FedEx. In 2008, J.B. Hunt drivers were involved in 2 critical accidents that involved several fatalities. In examining the truck drivers following those 2 accidents, it was discovered that both of them tested positive for drug use, in both cases for cocaine. These were major catastrophic accidents that proved to be significant losses to the company from a liability and insurance standpoint. The executives with the company met to decide what they could do, because after all, these were 2 drivers that had tested negative. They had cleared their urine exam when they were hired, and the company made a very progressive decision. They decided that they would begin testing all 16,000 of their drivers utilizing a hair test. The hair exam is widely used in other industries. It had never been used in the trucking industry to any degree. J.B. Hunt Transport became the first company to do that. They discovered that several of their drivers were testing positive utilizing hair for drug use, and those drivers were terminated. Since 2008, the company has experienced a 0% positive rate among all truck drivers following an accident. This is a tremendous achievement for the company. A company that operates, as I mentioned, about 16,000 trucks, 16,000 drivers, and to know that they are all drug-free has been a testament to the company's dedication to make sure that the highways, at least with their drivers, are safer. At this point, we were able in the FAST Act, which is our latest major transportation legislation, to include hair testing as a recognized alternative to a urine exam. This is a major achievement for the industry. It was not unanimously supported by the industry. There were segments that believed that the urine exam would be sufficient, but we were lucky in some respects in persuading Congress that this would be an important measure for the industry And so we have passed it, and the president has signed it into law. That's what Brazil did before the United States. I want to praise the Brazilian Congress and the progressive members of the industry that you have in Brazil for promoting the legislation that now will require all truck drivers to be tested for hair. Why is this important? It has two, I would say, benefits. There are economic benefits to the industry. There are social benefits to the public. The economic benefits to the industry are relatively simple. The companies that utilize hair testing will have a drug-free workforce. And if you have a drug-free workforce, you will lower the liability costs that you will experience with respect to accidents and any litigation that may follow those accidents. It's also going to lower your insurance costs, because with fewer accidents, your rating for insurance are improved, and your premiums will eventually start a downward trend, which is unusual in business insurance lines. You'll also find that your shippers, your customers, will welcome the fact that your drivers are drug-free. Increasingly, shippers are very sensitive to the fact that they're being pulled into litigation, particularly where it's found that in an accident, the truck driver was utilizing drugs. Shippers will respond very favorably to those carriers that can assure them that their drivers are drug-free. Lastly, the social benefits. The social benefits to the community and to the general population. You know, your families and my family share the highways with tractor-trailer rigs every day, literally within 2 or 3 feet of equipment that weighs 100,000 pounds. The least we can do as an industry is to assure the public that our drivers are drug-free. The public doesn't have a choice whether to share the highways with us. So it's our responsibility as an industry to make sure that the highways can be safer and that our drivers are operating the equipment in a safe manner. You're to be congratulated again for this major achievement. Brazil is now the leader in the industrialized world for taking such dramatic steps to make sure that your industry is going to operate in a drug-free manner. This is an achievement to be applauded. I applaud you, and I look forward to meeting with you in the coming weeks and to share what information and experiences that we have here in the United States. Thank you very much.